defense by Van. Bronny, breaking the chin for Van. Boy, Bronny climbed the ladder on that one. Oh, another look at that play by Bronny. The Lakers get out in transition, and Austin says,
A viral clip suddenly broke the internet, showing what appeared to be Austin Reaves and Bronny James getting into a heated scuffle after practice. Millions of fans saw it, and Lakers supporters immediately panicked. But before anyone jumped to conclusions, there was one crucial detail almost nobody noticed, and what the Lakers owner said afterward only made the situation feel even heavier. If you've been anywhere near social media in the last 48 hours, you already know what happened. On February 21st, 2026, a post hit X, formerly news of a physical altercation. Two players on the same Los Angeles Lakers roster, teammates who everyone assumed were fine behind the scenes, felt dramatic, messy, and completely believable.
How about Bronny James starting in the NBA and LeBron's assigned to the G League? That's awesome. Y'all know how he is. He analyzes everything to a T. So I'm sure he's sitting at his house while we're playing, probably drinking a little bit of wine, and obviously it's LeBron, and just his presence and his ability is going to lift the team. But he's a winner at the end of the day, and he's.
The numbers made the rumor seem even more real. The post racked up over 1.6 million views, thousands of likes, and hundreds of reposts, with replies stacking up by the minute. It spread like wildfire from X to Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. Everywhere you looked, fans debated whether the Lakers' locker room was cracking under pressure. Sitting at 34 wins and 21 losses in 5th place in the Western Conference, the team didn't need any drama. The stakes for the playoffs were serious. Fans reacted fast. When something appears as breaking news with an image and a verification check next to the account name, most people don't pause to investigate. They react. That's how the internet works now. By the time anyone thought to double-check, the story had already gone viral across the country. But almost nobody noticed the critical detail in those first hours. If you actually clicked on the profile, which most people didn't, the bio clearly said it was a satire account. The story was fabricated, coming from a Scotty Barnes fan page with zero ties to credible NBA reporting. It was intended as a joke. Some people caught on quickly. One reply read, "This is definitely some clickbait," earning hundreds of likes. Another pointed out the obvious flaw. Bronny played for South Bay tonight in Texas. At least try a little harder next time to make it seem real. That was the moment the story unraveled. On the same day the supposed practice fight in Los Angeles occurred, Bronny James was actually in Frisco, Texas, playing for the South Bay Lakers in a G League matchup against the Texas Legends. He logged 27 minutes, scored 13 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, and added 5 assists in a 127-105 win. The following night, he added 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block in a 104-99 victory. He wasn't fighting teammates, he was competing in a different state, in a different arena, focused entirely on his development. This wasn't even the first time the Lakers had to deal with something like this in the season. Back in November 2025, another wave of online rumors caused chaos before facts finally emerged. There was also the Bronny James cheating scandal, which blew up online only for the woman behind it to later admit she had fabricated the entire story. That makes 2 major fake stories about Bronny in a single season, 2 completely invented narratives.
Really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be. I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this.
The spotlight on Bronny James is relentless. Every shot, Every turnover, every facial expression is dissected. And when he's not doing anything dramatic, people manufacture drama for him. That's the level of pressure attached to being LeBron James's son. It's not just basketball. It's headlines, rumors, and viral posts built out of thin air. Once legitimate outlets investigated the so-called fight rumor, the truth came out quickly. Yahoo Sports confirmed there were no credible sources backing the claim, emphasizing that if something like that had truly occurred at a Lakers practice, insiders would have reported it. There were no leaks, no whispers from trusted reporters, nothing. The Times of India labeled it a viral social media hoax. The College Football Network traced the origin back to the satire account and compared it to actual footage of Austin Reaves and Bronny interacting like normal teammates. No ESPN reports, no NBA.com updates, no official statement from the Lakers. Silence, because there was nothing real to address. What makes the rumor even more absurd is that there is zero evidence of tension between Austin Reaves and Bronny James. In fact, there is strong evidence of the opposite. They shared one of the most memorable moments of the 2025-2026 NBA season. On November 3, 2025, during a Lakers vs. Miami Heat game at Crypto.com Arena, the Lakers were in rhythm and the crowd was electric. Late in the first quarter, Jared Vanderbilt forced a turnover, sparking a 3-on-1 fast break. Bronny filled the lane and Austin Reaves instantly recognized the opportunity. With no hesitation, Reaves threw a one-handed lob from around the free throw line. Bronny elevated, caught it midair, and slammed it down with two hands. The arena erupted. Fans jumped to their feet. The bench celebrated, and the replay highlighted just how high Bronny had gone. According to the Elias Sports Bureau, Reaves became the first player in at least 25 years to throw a lob to both a father and his son in the NBA. Think about that. Reaves had already connected with LeBron James on a lob, and now he did the same with Bronny. No other player in NBA history has thrown lobs to both father and son while both were active in the league. Past father-son duos like Dell and Stephen Curry or Rick and Brent Barry never shared a roster at the same time, making this a truly historic moment, and Reaves was part of it. After the Lakers' 130-120 victory, in which Luka Doncic recorded a triple-double and Reaves posted 26 points with 11 assists, Reaves reflected on the moment. He said, "I've got to be the first person in NBA history to throw a father a lob and a son a lob. It was a pretty special moment." He also praised Bronny's defensive effort and noted the importance of the
0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. How are you doing him favors? We know that he's not ready yet. You remember years ago, Dougie, when the great Larry Holmes, heavyweight champion extraordinaire, one of the greatest
Bronny James's journey in the NBA has not been smooth, and there have been serious conversations across the league about whether he is fully ready for this level. Analysts have debated it openly, and no one has been louder than Stephen A. Smith. He laid out the numbers bluntly, and at that time, they were far from flattering. Bronny's production was inconsistent, his minutes limited, and the scrutiny intense. Over 13 NBA games, he logged only 44 total minutes, scored 4 points, went 1 for 16 from the field, and 0 for 7 from three-point range. Those numbers are cold and unforgiving, regardless of the name on the jersey. Stephen A. made it clear that his critique wasn't personal or driven by hate, it was about performance and pressure. He then drew a comparison outside of basketball, referencing boxing history to make his point. He brought up Larry Holmes and Marvis Frazier. Holmes, one of the greatest heavyweight champions ever, known for a sharp jab, faced Joe Frazier's son Marvis in the ring. Before the fight, Holmes warned, "Ain't no kid with 10 fights beating me." When they stepped into the ring, Holmes dominated. He landed heavy shots, even signaling the referee to step in while still throwing punches. The spotlight wasn't just on Marvis, it was on his father, Joe, and the decisions that put his son in danger. Stephen A. drew a direct parallel to the NBA, directing his caution toward LeBron James as a father. The point was heavy. The NBA is the highest level of basketball in the world. A young player thrown into that spotlight before he is fully ready is exposed, not protected. Every miss becomes a viral clip. Every mistake becomes a headline. And for someone carrying the weight of his father's legacy, the pressure burns even hotter. It's important to note, however, that Stephen A. was not saying Bronny could never belong in the league. His critique was about timing and readiness, not potential. The skill and effort are there, evident in Bronny's G League numbers, roughly 15.5 points per game on over 53% shooting with nearly 5 assists per game. Back-to-back performances against the Texas Legends showed poise, and a season-high 12 points against the Spurs, going 5 for 10 with 6 assists, demonstrated flashes of his ability. The debate has always been about when, not if, he belongs. While analysts argued about Bronny's trajectory and social media recycled fake drama about Austin Reaves, something bigger was unfolding behind the scenes. Something that had nothing to do with practice rumors and everything to do with the future of the franchise. The conversation about Bronny is ultimately about development, growth, and the right timing to step into the NBA spotlight rather than the sensationalized narratives the internet often creates.
Marvis Frazier went to the ring, and Larry Holmes, Molly, got interviewed before the fight, and he said, and he hurt the kid and had him hurt. And literally, Molly, before he punched, was waving at the ref.
On February 17th, 2026, Jeannie Buss, the controlling governor of the Los Angeles Lakers, sat down with CNBC and was asked about. Instead, Buss said, "Never say never, but you know he certainly hasn't given an indication. He's earned the right to decide how his career will go." Read that carefully. He certainly hasn't given an indication. That is not a guarantee. It is not a commitment. This was the owner of the Lakers publicly acknowledging uncertainty about the face of the franchise. Suddenly, the conversation shifted. It was no longer just about Bronny's readiness or fake locker room drama. It was about what would happen if LeBron decided this chapter of his career was closing. It was about the direction of the Lakers, about power, legacy, and control. When the owner openly admits she does not know what her superstar plans to do, it sends a quiet but powerful message. Publicly acknowledging uncertainty about the future of a player who has been the face of the franchise for nearly a decade is not small. Buss did not sound confident, she sounded uncertain. She left the door open to retirement or even to LeBron playing elsewhere. That tone alone shifts the internal and external perception of an organization. This isn't just about one interview clip. Reports suggest that tension has been building behind the scenes for some time. ESPN detailed private frustrations from Buss, including her belief that LeBron's